Light the world's Christmas tree with stars. Heap offerings upon its mighty branches. Bring the Yule log to the world fireplace. Deck the world house with holly and mistletoe, and proclaim everywhere the Christmas of the human race. With these words by the physically blind, yet always deeply insightful Helen Keller, we welcome you to this, our second annual reading of pieces and poems about the holiday season and about winter itself.
It's beautiful. This next piece comes from a short poem by Sir Walter Scott called Marmion. England was merry England when old Christmas brought his sports again. 'Twas Christmas broached the mightiest ale, 'twas Christmas told the mightiest tale. A Christmas gamble oft could cheer the poor man's heart through half the year.
Oh yeah, I believe that section of the poem is often called Christmas in the Olden Time. Here's a delightful favorite of mine that never fails to bring a chuckle. It's called Christmas in New England, and it was actually written by Berlin's own David Taylor Moore. Yes, it's Christmas in New England. We are joyful as can be as we slalom down the highway. We call it Interstate 93. The signs say 65, which is good enough today. We could drive even faster if the plows got out of our way. The snow falls quick and steady, turning everything to white. The days become so short that it's almost always night. We love to buy cool presents, gifts, novelties, and stuff until our credit's maxed. We've spent more than enough. We frolic in the season of good tidings and glad cheer. Listen to our stories, and we'll gladly buy you beer. We're always in a hurry in everything we try. Gifts are unwrapped, regifted, and exchanged before Christmas Eve draws nigh. We want Christmas to be special, especially for you. It's too bad everything's closed and there's nothing left to do.
All too true, David. All too true. You've got it perfectly right. Okay, now, this next piece was written by Charles Dickens. It is the first published outpouring of his great love of the Christmas season. He wrote it for a magazine for which he wrote several articles, and he wrote it under his pen name, Sketches by Boz. He called it Christmas Festivities. Christmas time. That man must be a misanthrope indeed, in whose breast something like a jovial feeling is not roused, in whose mind some pleasant associations are not awakened by the recurrence of Christmas. There are people who will tell you that Christmas is not to them what it used to be, that each succeeding Christmas has found some cherished hope or happy prospect of the year before dimmed or passed away, that the present only serves to remind them of reduced circumstances and straitened incomes, of the feasts they once bestowed on hollow friends, and of the cold looks that meet them now in adversity and misfortune. Never heed such dismal reminiscences. There are few men who have lived long enough in the world who cannot call up such thoughts any day in the year. Then do not select the merriest of the 365 for your doleful recollections, but draw your chair nearer the fire, fill the glass and send round the song. And if your room be smaller than it was a dozen years ago, or if your glass be filled with reeking punch instead of sparkling wine. Put a good face on the matter. Empty it offhand and fill another, and troll off the old ditty you used to sing. And thank God it's no worse. Who can be insensible to the outpourings of good feeling and the honest interchange of affectionate attachment which abound this season of the year? A Christmas family party? We know of nothing in nature more delightful. There seems a magic in the very name of Christmas. Petty jealousies and discords are forgotten. Social feelings are awakened in bosoms to which they have long been strangers. Father and son, or brother and sister, who have met and passed with averted gaze or a look of cold recognition. For months before, proffer and receive the cordial embrace, and bury their past animosities in their present happiness. Kindly hearts that have yearned toward each other, but have been withheld by false notions of pride and self-dignity, are again reunited, and all is kindness and benevolence. Would that Christmas lasted the whole year through, as it ought, and that the prejudices and passions which deepen our better natures were never called into action among those to whom they should forever be strangers.
Yeah. Christmas wouldn't be Christmas without some wonderful piece of writing by Charles Dickens.
Well, now, since we've done that rather beautiful reminiscences and thoughts about Christmas and seriousness, now we have to get to something silly. Well, that's what they tell me. They put it in my script here, so I mean, I don't know. If you don't want to, we can go on.
No, I think silliness is important.
You think we should?
I think it is.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to read you some information about 3 songs of Christmas having to do with Christmas. I will give you a little, I will tell you who wrote the song, I will give you a little history of the song, and then it will be up to you to tell me what the song is.
The first person who gets it right gets a very expensive trophy, and you're welcome to, as opposed to me throwing them at you, you're welcome to grab a very expensive trophy on your way out tonight.
Okay.
If you get it right.
Right. All right. We're all ready for number 1, right? All right. Okay. All ready for number 1.
Here we go.
James Pierpont wrote this for his Sunday school class to sing for a Thanksgiving pageant. The song actually has nothing whatsoever to do with Christmas.
Over the river.
I'm sorry, what?
She's
Nope,
thinking.
not
No,
over the
not
river
quite.
through the woods. No. Any idea?
Oh boy.
Go
Who
ahead.
brought this group in?
Go ahead. There we go.
Hey! There we go! All right. Okay, you've
Jingle bells.
You've redeemed yourselves. Okay, now you need to listen very
No, he
carefully
said it
to
was
this
written on
clue.
Thanksgiving.
Because we okay? Oh, you are. Okay. Anyone interrupted? Okay, the actual clue to this thing, there's an actual clue to this song in what I'm about to tell you right now. Now this song was written over 50 years ago now by one Don Gardner of Wellesley, Massachusetts. Now, Mr. Gardner was a music teacher, and he was inspired to write this song by his second grade music class. Okay, now he's a music teacher. He's inspired by his second grade music class to write this little Christmas classic.
All I want for Christmas is my two front teeth.
My two front teeth. Very good. Yeah, she gets to it.
Yep.
Oh, no,
Yeah, no.
she gets to
We're
it.
making no.
Okay. Now, getting back to being a little more serious in a moment here. Now, first of all, the words to this carol were written by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, one of the beloved poets of New England. Those of you who remember the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere and so on. Anyway, the musical setting, well, there's several musical settings of this poem, but the one that I'm thinking about was written by Johnny Marks, who is better known for writing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Yeah, okay. Now, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow wrote this poem during the Civil War. He wrote it for Christmas after learning that his son had been severely wounded in one of the many battles of the Civil War. So,
If only David Taylor Moore were here, I'm sure he'd know the answer to that.
I heard the bells on Christmas Day.
I heard the bells on Christmas Day. Yes, great. Oh, wow. Hey, boy, we have ourselves a pretty good audience here.
We sure do.
Okay, now that they're getting warmed up. Okay, now this next section that I'm told I have to do is called Garbling the Gospel. Garbling the Gospel. Now, I hope nobody gets offended by any of this, but these were collected. These are statements by children regarding things religious, and these all were collected by Professor Thomas L. Bernard of the Department of Psychology and Education at Mount Holyoke College in Massachusetts. All right? Now, as you know, sometimes children don't always hear things quite correctly, right? Okay. All right. So I'm going to start with this. This is Jonathan's favorite of all of these. Okay. Now this is one by a youngster who said, "Paraffin is the next order of angels above the seraphim."
It's not a question.
Oh!
No, it's not a question. No. It's a
I
statement.
raised my hand for that and hugged Jim.
Oh, I think there's another opportunity later on.
There will be more questions
Yes,
later.
yes, yeah. You don't get away with not doing anything. Okay.
Just keep me in mind, will you?
An epistle is the wife of an apostle. My own personal favorite. In Christianity, a man can have only one wife. This is called monotony. A couple of Christmas carol titles. "Oh come, Molly Faithful, joyful on an elephant." Sounds right to me.
That's not the way it goes?
My personal favorite, "While shepherds wash their socks by night." Alright, and last but not least, no, my wife is not in the audience. Okay. Just want to make sure. Matrimony is a place where souls go to suffer a while for their sins. All right, enough of this. Let's get back.
So some years back, New New Hampshire's Elizabeth Yates wrote a charming little booklet called Gifts of the True Love. It's based on the beloved carol, The 12 Days of Christmas. Here's her interpretation of the meaning of one of the gifts. It is an unusual combination, this first gift of the true loves. A partridge alone would be quite acceptable. A pear tree could be planted, but what are the two of them doing together? And why should a partridge be in a pear tree? A partridge is a game bird, happiest in the woodland or scratching in the bushes that border fields. The twisted branches of the tree are bare, though the swelling of the leafless twigs promises new growth. The bark is rough. The limbs are not the best for climbing. The partridge must have had to fly into the branches of the tree to get where he is and to settle down as he has. He looks content, every inch of him. From his smooth head to his blunt tail feathers, he is alert but not wary, so he must feel safe. It is an unlikely thing for a game bird to be in a setting as domestic as a pear tree, and for that very reason, the partridge knows he is in no danger. No hunter would think to look for him there, and if he was spied, he would not be shot. By being out of place, he is safe. He doesn't belong there. No one knows that better than he. The sly look in his eye says as much. A pear tree is neither his habitat nor his larder, but it is a vantage point from which he can survey the scene around him. He prefers his woodland home with its cares and necessities, its dangers and delights. But he's left it for a while with deliberate intent and placed himself in a pear tree. He'll leave it when he's ready, the way he got into it, by using his wings. Now, at the start of a new year, the true love gives as the first in a sequence of gifts a partridge in a pear tree. It is a pretty picture, even though it's so quaint. It belongs to another age, an age where there was more time, more opportunity to escape into aloneness, to survey, to ponder. Or does it? The partridge had to find his pear tree. He had to leave his natural surroundings and seek it out. Once found and settled in it, he has no intention of leaving it until it has served his purpose. That particular kind of pear tree is a hardy variety. It can grow anywhere once it's established. In a garden or in a house, in the midst of busy moments or in a crowd of people. But as it is no ordinary tree, it cannot be approached in an ordinary manner. Wings are needed to reach it.
It's very nice. Very nice. I'd like to leave Christmas for a moment, unless you intended to do the other 11.
I didn't.
Okay, good. We don't have that much time. Wanted to share this favorite New Year's poem by an American poet called William Cullen Bryant. It's called A Song for New Year's Eve, but I promise I won't sing it.
Please don't.
Seriously.
Stay yet, my friends, a moment stay. Stay till the good old year, so long companion of our way, shakes hands and leaves us here. Oh stay, one little hour, and then away. The year whose hopes were high and strong has now no hopes to wake. Yet 1 hour more of jest and song for his familiar sake. Oh stay, one mirthful hour, and then away. The kindly year his liberal hands have lavished all his store, and shall we turn from where he stands, because he gives no more? Oh stay, one grateful hour, and then away. Days brightly came and calmly went, while yet he was our guest. How cheerful the week was spent, how sweet the seventh day's rest. Oh stay, one golden hour, and then away. Dear friends were with us, some who sleep beneath the coffin lid. What pleasant memories we keep of all they said and did. Oh stay, one tender hour, and then away. Even while we sing, he smiles his last and leaves our sphere behind. The good old year is with the past. Oh, the new one be as kind. Oh stay, one parting strain, and then away.
Very nice, Jonathan. Nice poem. Robert W. Service is probably best known to all of us for his poems about the Yukon. Shooting of Dan LaRue and so on. But he did write other things. This was a poem, for example, about the new year. He called it the passing of the year. My glass is filled. My pipe is lit. My den is all a cozy glow. And snug before the fire I sit and wait to feel the old year go. I dedicate to solemn thought amid my 2 unthinking days this solemn moment, sadly fraught with much of blame, with little praise. Old year, upon the stage of time you stand to bow your last adieu. A moment and the prompter's chime will ring the curtain down on you. Your mien is sad, your step is slow. You falter as a sage in pain. Yet turn, O year, and before you go, and face your audience once again. That sphinx-like face, remote, austere, let us all read whate'er the cost. Is it for dear one, O maiden, why that bitter tear? Is it for dear one you have lost? Is it for fond illusion gone? For trusted lover proved untrue? O sweet girl face, so sad, so wan, what hath the old year meant to you? And you, O neighbor, on my right, so sleek, so prosperously clad, what see you in that aged white that makes you smile so gay and glad? What opportunity unmissed? What golden gain, what pride of place? What splendid hope, O optimist? What read you in that withered face? And you, deep shrinking in the gloom, what find you in that filmy gaze? What menace of a tragic doom? What dark, condemning yesterdays? What urge to crime? What evil done? What cold, confronting shape of fear? Oh, haggard, haunted, hidden one, what see you in the dying year? And so from face to face I flit, the countless eyes that stare and stare. Some are with approbation lit, some are shadowed with despair. Some show a smile, some a frown, some joy and hope, some pain, woe. Enough. Oh, ring the curtain down, old year. Time to go. My pipe is out. My glass is dry. My fire is almost ashes, too. But once again, before you go, and I prepare to meet the new, old year, a parting word that's true. For we've been comrades, you and I. I thank God for each day of you. There. Bless you now. Old year, goodbye.
I like that one. Another short piece by Charles Dickens. It's from a story he called Dr. Marigold's Prescriptions. My best wishes for your Merry Christmas and your Happy New Year's, your long lives and your true prosperities. Worth 20-pound good if they're delivered as I send them. Remember, here's a final prescription added to be taken for life.
With all the things that we make Dick do, He's getting his revenge right now, because before we leave our New Year's passages, he is having us sing one verse of the well-known carol, Deck the Hall. And we're hoping that you will all join us so as to drown me out.
Please do.
Back what?
Would you lead us?
Now, as many of you know from reading my articles, and many of you who know me personally, my wife and I like to travel a great deal, and we somehow manage to do it. And there's one way that which we can collect our funds together. Now, the title of this song is Deck the Hall. It is not Deck the Halls. Deck the Hall. Now, I have this little thing about this song. If I hear any S's, everybody in this room owes me 50 cents.
At least.
We get to travel somewhere, one way or another.
Would you lead us?
Would I lead you? Here is your starting tone. Okay. Deck the hall with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la. Throw the ancient Yuletide carol, fa la 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 la. Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
I said to say that right now.
I said deck the halls.
You said deck the halls? There's a basket over there. Start passing it around. We get to go on vacation some way with it. Let's get serious, folks.
All right. Here's a Christmas Eve poem by Berlin's Don Tupik that tells of a childhood experience of long ago. It's called Red Ice on the River. Here I am, standing on my hill. It is quiet, looking across the old Androscoggin River. So peaceful, so still. The winter moonlight drifts, a steeple light softly touches the golden cross. It is Christmas Eve. Snow is falling, Christmas carols calling. My eyes see the village glow lights of red reflecting on the river's edge. A memory story of war and peace. A teardrop falls, December 7th, 41. Windows lit in memory of far away soldier sons. The cross above the village showing us the way to celebrate the child born to us this day. It is Christmas. Old Androscoggin River silent, red ice shadows gleam, telling us to hurry. I see St. Paul in candlelight, the dear old church is waiting. Come be with us this holy night. You need not be alone. The door is always open. I take a step inside in the beauty of the moment. My eye sees a towhead child sits beneath the glorious Christmas tree. A magi in her hand, and then I know. The red ice on the river found the child that once was me.
That makes for a perfect lead-in to our next section of our program. That's all about our Christmas Eve visitor from the North Pole. We're going to start with a delightful poem by Jefferson's Poet Laureate of the North Country, Esther Leeper. It seems that Santa had an unexpected passenger one Christmas Eve. This poem is called Tinsel's Night Flight. It's about a little kitten, and it's adorable. I think you're going to enjoy it. Mrs. Claus awoke, sad on Christmas Day, for last eve her kitten had gone astray. Not tiny, but nowhere near full grown. Small Tinsel should not be on his own. especially when bitter ice and snow had blotted the North Pole's lights aglow. Inquisitive Tinsel, bold but tender, was far too young for a tomcat bender. Yet Santa's sleigh held games and toys and rattles that made a lovely noise, plus sleds and skates and pretty dollies to aid in Christmas morning's jollies. Now he noted one corner of Santa's sack that had just the tiniest bit of